All right, let's get it, man. So the Lakers come out in tonight's game with the W, guys, with a final score of 125 to 122 against the Los Angeles Clippers. The Lakers had a very good first half in this game. They were knocking down shots. They were moving the ball around. They were getting stops defensively. The most frustrating part in the first half of this game was the Lakers allowing offensive rebounds constantly to the LA Clippers, and the LA Clippers being able to score off second chance points once again. The Lakers have to figure out something. If they're going to be running the zone that they've been running, which has been kind of effective as of late, if they're going to do that, they're going to have to figure out ways to rebound the ball and not allow second chance points, because a lot of these teams are able to stay in these games in the first half or just hang around because the Lakers continue to allow other teams to get second chance opportunities. And the Clippers the Clippers capitalized on those second chance opportunities in the first half. The Lakers offense, I think the ball movement and things of that nature were kind of the same in the second half. Luka took some contested shots that he were making in the first half. He did not make them in the second half at times. Reeves was amazing tonight on both sides of the ball, if you ask me. LeBron had a good first half. He did not have a good second half offensively when it comes to shot selection and just overall efficiency from the field. He was not good tonight. And I thought DeAndre Ayton was solid tonight. Luke Kennard was okay off the bench. Jackson Hayes as well. But JJ Redick has to figure out what he wants to do with the rotation, because tonight it was lineups in the game with no centers. And I understand tonight, I think it was kind of a matchup thing, because once Brook Lopez goes to the bench, the Clippers really don't have a center. They do have a rookie, but he's not really dominant in the post and in the paint, things of that nature. But I thought the centers played so well tonight that both of those guys should have been in the game at all times of the game. It should have been DeAndre Ayton in the game or Jackson Hayes, because I felt like both of those guys really affected the game tonight on both sides of the ball. So I understand him not really playing a center at times tonight because they don't really have a dominant center. Even when Brook Lopez is in the game, he's taller. That's the reason why you have to play one. But once he goes out of the game, they didn't really have a dominant center. So I'm really excited to see what JJ Redick is going to continue to do with the rotations. I did agree with the starting five tonight, like the last video I made. We spoke about Jerry Vanderbilt, and I'm about to get into y'all's comments in a second. Chat, y'all give me a second. But we spoke about Jerry Vanderbilt being in the starting five alongside Aiden, Braun, Reeves, and Luka. But he did include Marcus Smart in the starting lineup alongside those guys. And Marcus Smart was absolutely phenomenal tonight, especially in the fourth quarter. He was good all night on defense. He did make a couple mistakes trying to be overly aggressive against Kawhi Leonard. And he tried to gamble a couple times, and Kawhi made him pay. I just felt like you have to play solid defense against certain players. And Kawhi Leonard is one of those guys you have to play solid defense against, and you cannot gamble because he will make you pay if you do not capitalize when you do gamble. So overall, though, Marcus Smart was incredibly clutch in the fourth quarter. He made a clutch three that was a momentum changing shot, in my opinion, off a pass from LeBron in the corner. And he made some other good buckets in the fourth quarter as well, like that really helped the Lakers get this W tonight coming out of the All-Star break. So yeah, man, I'm gonna hop into y'all's questions and comments. What's good though, Chad? How y'all feel about the game tonight, man? He is a big game player, Big Mom. But let me get your comment up on the screen, bro. Give me 1 second. But yeah, he is a big game player, and I think that's the reason why JJ is going with Marcus Smart to be in the starting lineup, because we have to understand something too. Like when I did make the video about Vanderbilt, I was saying that I would understand if JJ goes with Marcus Smart as well. And if Marcus is going to play like he played tonight, you have to go. You have to go with him. He has to be the starter, right? Before the season started, we talked about when the Lakers did sign Marcus Smart off the buyout market, Marcus Smart being the best fit for that position, right, as a starter. And as y'all coming in, guys, y'all be sure to drop a like on the stream for me, man. Y'all be sure to drop a like so this can be pushed out to more people, and more people can join the live streams and things of that nature, knowing what we got going on here on Lakers Index. So let me get y'all's questions and comments up on the screen right quick. Let me do this right quick, y'all. And we should be straight. But yeah, man, exciting game tonight for sure. I think another game. The Lakers have the lead going into the fourth quarter, and they come out with a W. And on top of that, like, they came out another clutch win as well. And I'm not trying to hear nothing about no injuries. I'm not trying to hear nothing about that when it comes to the Clippers. And Kawhi Leonard leaving the game in the fourth quarter, because nobody has sympathy for the Lakers. The last game the Clippers played, well, not the last game, but the game before. So the second game of the season, the Lakers played the Clippers. The only star player that was out there for the Lakers was LeBron. Austin was hurt, and Luka had got hurt within like the first 5 minutes of the first quarter. And the Lakers lost that game, and then everybody was just saying how hot the Clippers were and how this and how that, how the Clippers are on their way. Nobody wants to hear that. We've all known Kawhi to be injury prone throughout his career, especially since he's left the Spurs. Nobody wants to hear no type of excuses for the Clippers, right? So I just gotta get that out there right now, because I ain't trying to hear it. Not trying to hear it, buddy. Not trying to hear it. All right. Let's do this right quick. Let's minimize this, and boom, we good. Mamba, let me get to Mamba's comment right quick, bro. Then I'll get to yours, Robbie, because I want to read this for a second. I want to talk about this. Marcus Smart was a difference in this game. Huge shots in the fourth quarter. He's a big game player, 100%. Let's go ahead and get over here right quick too. Yeah, let's do this right quick. Yeah, let's do this. All right, there we go. So I'm sure y'all can look at the stats if y'all want to, Chad. But yeah, to finish your comment, bro, about Marcus Smart, he is a big game player, and that's the reason why he's in the starting lineup. I think that was a good move by JJ Redick to have a player of his caliber defensively, right? Who was, I really do feel like Marcus was great tonight defensively. I just thought that he was overly aggressive a couple times, and that kind of got him in trouble. But overall, man, Marcus Smart is a dog, bro. And he makes big shots. He makes big plays. He's been there. He's been through multiple playoff runs with the Celtics. He's been to the finals. He's been in big moments. So you want those type of players with your other best players, right? So it's completely understandable. And it showed tonight. That, like I said, it was 86 to 84. Lakers were down by 2. LeBron is the shot clock running down. I think it was like 5 seconds left on the shot clock. A lot of odds were on LeBron. He was on the wing, and Marcus Smart was in the corner. You know, Bron drew the attention, threw the ball to Marcus Smart, and Marcus Smart knocked down like a momentum change in 3, right? Because the Clippers at that point in the game, they had the momentum. Brook Lopez had just hit a corner 3 that Luka kind of softly closed out to instead of trying to make him drive the ball. I don't know why Luka did that, but nonetheless, I felt like that was a momentum changing play. And those are the type of plays that you need if you want to win a championship, or if you want to make any type of playoff run. You need those type of plays from your role players, right? Because the stars are going to make plays throughout the game, but it's up to the role players and the others, quote unquote, what we call them, to make those momentum changing plays. You said Rui had 3 points in 26 minutes. I mean, bro, we not something we not going to do for Rui, bro, in my opinion, at least. I'm not going to sit up here and blame Rui, bro. I don't think that Rui Hachimura gets enough shot attempts. I think that the Lakers, I think JJ Redick should use Rui Hachimura more in certain situations. He's coming off the bench now. I felt like he was solid defensively tonight, but the Clippers made a lot of tough shots in this game, chat. The Lakers did too. This was a tough shot making game. Like, this was high level basketball from both teams. Like, Benedict Mathurin was making contested shots all night. So was Kawhi. I mean, bro, there was multiple times throughout the game Kawhi made shots, bro, when the defense was right here. I mean, bro, like, the defense couldn't have been any better. But that's Kawhi Leonard, right? But even Benedict Mathurin was making tough shots, right? Like, Benedict Mathurin was making step back jumpers and side fading jumpers and contested threes, and he was making and ones. I feel like the Lakers were making the Clippers earn most of their shots. I don't think the Lakers had a bad defensive performance. I mean, they did allow 122 points, but when you look at the shot selection from the Clippers and the shots they were making, that has to be taken into consideration. And they were making some tough shots tonight. But when it comes to Rui on the defensive side of the ball, I thought he was solid tonight. But just in general, I don't think Rui Hachimura is getting enough shot attempts. 4 shot attempts is not enough, in my opinion, for Rui Hachimura. Then on top of all of that, he shot 3 threes and he did make 1. He made 1 in the first quarter when he first subbed into the game. But I just think that they should get him more looks. Even when your big 3 is playing, I feel like that does not necessarily mean that those guys have to take the majority of the shots all of the time. I feel like when you have offensive weapons like Luka Doncic and Rui Hachimura coming off your bench, when you have one of your stars off the court or 2 of your stars off the court, like in the rotation tonight, JJ Redick had, when he would sub one of the stars out, he would keep 2 on the floor, or he'll just keep Luka on the floor by himself, or he'll have Austin Reeves and LeBron out there when Luka rests, which I like that. I like the fact because Luka, he's the best player on this team. He leads the NBA in scoring. He's like second or third in assists. Like he can carry the load offensively most of the time and get guys open looks. So I really do like that move by JJ Redick. I like the way he had the rotation going tonight for the most part. Let's see. You said, what do you think? What do you think whenever stars have a big game and people say he's better than Luka? It's like Luka is the standard for players. I don't know what it is, bro. No, yes, I do. I know what it is. And we have to understand this. The Lakers and the Cowboys and the Yankees and some of these other bigger market teams, when it comes to like ESPN and stuff like that, they are going to try to figure out ways to target players on the Lakers or the Lakers in general, right? Why is Luka Doncic the standard for Cade Cunningham, right? And I love Cade Cunningham. I was saying earlier this year, I think he might be better than Anthony Edwards. I was saying that earlier in the season, right? That's how good I think he is. And with the load he's carrying offensively without the offensive help that some of these other superstars have. The Detroit Pistons are not an insanely talented offensive team. They are a good defensive team, and they don't shoot the three ball well. So with the talent level of offensive talent level on the Detroit Pistons, I think that Cade Cunningham should be definitely like in the deep conversation for MVP, right? But when we say a player is better than another player, you have to consider their success in the NBA, especially prime players. Players are in their primes. Luka has been to the finals. Luka has made multiple deep playoff runs as the number one player on his team. That has to go into consideration. He's been a multi-time first-team All-NBA player, perennial MVP candidate, right? He has done a lot more than Cade Cunningham has. So the conversation of Kendrick Perkins saying that Cade Cunningham is better than Luka Doncic, Luka is not even looked at as the best player in the league by a lot of people. It's Jokic or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Why are you targeting Luka in that conversation? He's not even the best player in the league. For a lot of people, he's not. So why is Luka being targeted in that conversation? And by the way, Cade is not better than Luka. Just to get that out there. He is not better than Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is the better player. So I want to get that out there as well. And those are my thoughts on that. But the reason why I think that the mainstream media platforms do those type of things is for clicks and reactions, just like we are getting in this stream right now, right? And to get more attention on their platform. ESPN is trash, bro. For the most part, it's trash. They got a couple good analysts on ESPN, but for the most part, bro, ESPN is not good. All they do is search for clicks and attention and try to clickbait all the time and try to start drama and all those things. And granted, I get it. I know that that's what draws the most attention, and that might be the reason why they're in their position they're in now, and that's fine. But at the same time, when it comes to just straight analysis of the sport that they're specifically talking about, they are trash for the most part. It's only a few analysts on that network that can actually talk about the sport and actually explain it to the viewers in a positive way. It's only a few of them that can do that. And most of those guys on First Take cannot do that, especially Stephen A. Smith. He's horrible. He used to be good at one point, I felt like. I felt like at one point he was decent, but now he trash. What do you think whenever I already read that? Oh, you put the same comment twice. Rui is buns. Brother, what? I hate when people, Dark man, I hate when niggas come. I hate when people say stuff like this, bro. Like, Rui has played good this year. Like, we not finna go off one game and saying the man is buns. That's like me saying when Julian Champagnie plays bad. That's like me saying Julian Champagnie is buns. Bro, what? That doesn't make any sense. You saying Rui Hachimura is bad because he had 3 points. He shot the ball 4 times. You can't expect a player to just shoot super efficiently from the field when you only getting 4 looks and you getting those 4 looks throughout 4 quarters of the game. Like, it ain't like he got 4 looks in the first quarter or 4 looks in the second quarter. He got 4 looks throughout the entirety of the game. And then one of them was like a heave to beat the shot clock at the end of the game. Right? So the whole notion of I'm definitely not criticizing Rui. Rui has been good for the Lakers, especially since he's been coming off the bench. He's had multiple games where he's propelled the Lakers to win certain games. He played phenomenal in the Bulls game. He played phenomenal in the Mavericks game. He's had multiple good games where he's played phenomenal. So Rui Hachimura criticism, I'm not listening to that. I said was Buns. I didn't say he was Buns. What? What are you saying? I said was Buns. I didn't he was Buns. What? I don't even know, bro. I don't even know what you just said. I just lost brain cells trying to read that shit. I'm not reading that again. It might hurt my head. I ain't doing that no more, not to myself. Rui is one of our best shooters. He's one of the better shooters in the league, bro. He's a top 10 shooter in the NBA. He shoots over 45% from three. A player that shoots over, I don't care what they doing. If you shooting over 45% from three and you're qualified as one of the top shooters in the league, you're doing something right. Now, was he efficient from the field tonight? No, but that's what I'm saying. He needs to get more looks. Rui has been too good, especially off the bench this year, when it comes to shooting the three and just shooting in general, to not only get 4 looks. Now, granted, it's going to take some time. And that's the reason why I've been saying, and that's the reason why LeBron has been saying, and Luka has been saying, and everybody that has an actual brain has been looking at these games. The biggest problem for the Lakers this season has been health. Right? Now, obviously, they don't have a perfect roster, but in order for them to maximize what they do have, they needed to stay healthy for the most part. And the fact that they are 13 games over 500. I know it only says 12 on there, but they actually are 13 games over 500. It's not updated on ESPN, right? And you've only played now 10 games with your best 3 players. And you just beat one of the best defensive teams in the league. This same team just beat the Nuggets last night, who everybody thinks is just a lock to go to the finals or a lock to go to the conference finals. So we're not going to sit up and act like this Clippers team is not good. They just beat the Nuggets just yesterday. And yes, it was a second out of a back-to-back to them. Oh, well, they just drove like 20 minutes to the Lakers stadium. Like, right? So my whole entire point is, right, we're not going to sit up here and make excuses for the Clippers. But on top of that, the fact of the matter of the Lakers only playing 10 total games so far this season with their big 3 or their best 3 players, the biggest problem is you have to get reps in. You have to see what lineups work with each other the best. You have to see who is going to be the rotation or the starters or the lineup at the beginning of the second quarter, at the end of the first quarter, at the beginning of the fourth quarter. You need to know these things. And that's why the Lakers need to stay healthy for the most part of the season so they will know that going into the playoffs. That's the biggest thing. This team is good enough to make a deep playoff run. Now, are they a favorite to win a championship? Of course not. 100% not. But the best thing that this team can do to maximize their ceiling or maximize their team is stay healthy and figure out the best lineups and mix and match defense with offense, right? With what JJ did in the starting 5, and they have to figure out those rotations for the rest of the season. That's the biggest thing. I mean, he was buns tonight. Oh yeah, okay, I understand that. Yo, you're funny losing brain cells reading that comment, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Had to take a sip of this cold Powerade right here. Bro, you ever read one of those type of sentences where you like, bro, like, that's not how you write that. Like, you just made me read some stuff that I'm like, bro, you didn't read that correctly. You making me think extra hard because you can't type correctly. Even though I know who that is. He can type correctly. He just obviously typo type shit. Judging a player on 4 shots as well. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's another thing I'm saying. Like, you can't expect for a player to just go crazy every single night when you shooting the ball 4 times. That's like me. That's like I said, he's a Spurs fan. The guy that said that, he's a Spurs fan. So that's why I named one of the role players for the Spurs, Julian Champagnie. If Julian Champagnie has had plenty of games like this where he's had 3 points, 5 points in the night. He don't go crazy every single night. You can't expect for role players to go absolutely absurd every single night. Now, if Rui Hachimura had 3 points and he went out there and shot the ball 11 times, okay, then we can have a conversation. We can have a conversation then. And yes, granted, Rui definitely could have made, well, I mean, like I said, he shot 3 threes. And one of them was a heave to beat the shot clock at the end of the shot clock. So it's like, that shouldn't even been really a shot attempt. He didn't even actually get his feet set and then was able to shoot the ball. Which, I mean, with Rui, that matters for him. because he doesn't have like a high release or a quick release. You know, he has a nice form, but hopefully they play better now that they are healthy. Exactly. And then at times tonight, bro, they look phenomenal. You know, they look good tonight at times, and they just beat a very good team. Now the Clippers are not a playoff team, but they are a good team. Kawhi had 30 tonight, even though he did lead the game early. That's fine, because the Lakers have had plenty of situations this season where they've had players get injured or during the game and they lose that player, and the Lakers don't get no sympathy for those things. So you think we feel sorry for Kawhi leaving the game early? We don't care. We don't care, bro. Maybe you should have sat out tonight. You know how injury prone you are. Instead of trying to prove something, play your crosstown rivals, sit your ass down. Don't play if you got a sore ankle. Don't be out there trying to play on no sore ankle or messed up. You see LeBron just all of a sudden became questionable tonight, right? Or today. The Lakers had their cleanest injury report in years. Nobody was on it. Like 24 hours ago. Nobody was on it. And then all of a sudden, LeBron earlier today, oh man, he old. He wake up, knee soreness. But he went through his pregame workout and he fine. So that's fine, right? But the Clippers are on a back-to-back. And we know Kawhi has dealt with things like this throughout his career, especially with the Clippers. Like, I will never forget that knee injury Kawhi had a couple years ago against the Suns. I think it was in the second round of the playoffs. 2022 season. Whenever the Suns went to the finals. That year, Kawhi was literally playing amazing. And then all of a sudden, he just got injured. He didn't actually get injured on the court to where people could see the injury. He just all of a sudden was hurt, and he was out for the rest of the series. So those type of things have happened with Kawhi. Not like Kawhi, he's good. But you have to, like, actually consider, like, his injury health. I mean, his health history. It's been like that throughout his career. That classic Russell Westbrook meme popped to mind when you were trying to comprehend. Oh my God, you talking about when he was like, dude, what are you talking about? That's literally what I was thinking, bro. Literally. That is the perfect example. That is the perfect example. But Chad, what do y'all think? What do y'all think the Lakers' ceiling is this season? How far in the playoffs? Now, like I said earlier, y'all, we also have to consider this team is nowhere near where I think they actually can be. I don't think that this team is like a top tier contender or nothing like that, but I do think this team is like top 4 in the West worthy, right? I think they are a top 4 seed, and they could definitely be a top 4 seed in the West. Let's look at the standings right quick, because they are 34-21 now, so they're 13 games over 500. Let's look at the standings right quick. The Lakers are, y'all can see this. Let me move this down a little bit. Boom. All right. The Lakers are right now, they are 13 games over 500, and they are a half game out of 4th. And I think tomorrow the Rockets play against the Knicks. So we definitely going to be some Knicks fans tomorrow, right? The Nuggets just absolutely demolished the Trailblazers tonight. The Trailblazers, I don't even know. Maybe they still on vacation or something. They didn't even show up tonight. So the Trailblazers didn't even show up tonight, but the Nuggets did lose yesterday to the Clippers. They are 15 games over 500, and we 13. So we're only 1 game back from them because they've played more games than us so far this year. So the 3rd seed is definitely obtainable for the Lakers. Now, I don't think they're going to get top 2, obviously. I highly doubt they'll be able to get that, but they definitely could possibly get to the 3rd seed. Top 6, bro? What you mean top 6? Top 6 about what? Top 6 about what, young Braveheart? What you mean, bro? That was a very entertaining game for me. Extremely entertaining. It was extremely entertaining. The Clippers are good, bro. I know they don't have the best record, but like if you look at this Clippers team of what they've been over the last month and a half, they are good. And Kawhi Leonard is playing like one of the best players in the NBA. So when you consider all of those things, you know, they did lose Zubac and they did lose James Harden, but they are a well-coached team and they play good defense. They have really good defenders. Derrick Jones Jr. is a good defender. Chris Dunn, Kawhi Leonard. Brook Lopez, even though he's old and slow, he still can protect the rim pretty well. And some of those role players that they have, they play good defense. So when you have that, and then you have the shot making ability from guys like Benedict Mathurin and Kawhi Leonard, they are a good team. And then on top of that, they about to get Darius Garland. Now we'll see how healthy he is. We don't know how healthy he'll be, right? But he is a good player when he's healthy. We're not finna sit up and act like Darius Garland is trash. He's good when he's healthy. But yeah, it was a good game by two good teams, if you ask me. Sunday is going to be a test though. That Boston Celtics team been hooping. They have been playing phenomenal basketball. Peyton Pritchard off the bench. Derek White is annoying as hell. Jaylen Brown has been playing like an MVP this year. Kata has been surprising. And then now they got Vucevic coming off the bench. And they did beat us really, really bad that first game, even though LeBron or Luka didn't play in that game. And I think a couple other guys were out too. But they beat us bad in Boston that first game. So definitely Sunday will be something I'm looking forward to for sure. The Lakers will look far more formidable once Rui and Kennard are both hitting from three-point range. Yeah, that will open up the floor for everyone else. I completely agree. And I can't wait till JJ get in his bag and starts figuring out line. I can't remember if they played tonight together. Y'all let me know, chat, if they played tonight together. Did Rui and Kennard play tonight together? I can't remember if they did. I can't remember if they played together tonight. But that's neither here or there, right? Even if they didn't play tonight, I'm hoping that JJ Redick can figure out a way to get both of those guys on the court. Maybe in those lineups that has Luka out there on the court by himself, and when you sit down Austin and LeBron, I think that those two players, I think that they were out there together tonight. Yeah, they had to be. So that would be Luka, Rui, Kennard, and then probably Jackson Hayes as the backup, or maybe DeAndre Ayton for a little bit before he goes to the bench. And you would have to have another player out there as well. Maybe Vanderbilt or Laravia, because he can play defense. Yeah, I think that type of lineup would work. And you would have your two best shooters on the court. You would have your best player on the court. You would have a great live threat in Jackson Hayes probably with that lineup. So yeah, I'm hoping that JJ Redick can figure out something to get both of those guys on the court. And teams are not going to be, it's going to be harder. I'm not going to say they're not going to be able to match up with it, but it's going to be a lot harder for those guys to match up, or for teams to match up with that type of lineup, with that type of shooting coming from the Lakers' two best shooters. Two of the best shooters in the league. You got two of the top 10 shooters in the NBA in one lineup, if that lineup is out there on the court together. And then Luke hasn't been bad on defense. People been talking like Luke Kennard is like some type of cone. Bro, I haven't seen it. Luke Kennard has not been that bad on defense. Now, has he been great? No, he don't have to be, though. Just be solid. That's all the Lakers can ask for from a guy of his when it comes to the caliber of shooter he is. Now, when it comes to Luke Kennard, I want him to start shooting more threes. He's not shooting enough. Bro, everything does not have to be wide open for you to shoot. That's the only problem I have. Even if you want to call that a problem, that's the only critique. If you want to, I think that's a better way of putting it. It's not even a problem, right? But I think that's the only little critique that I have about Kennard as of right now. I think that he's such a good shooter that he has to start getting more comfortable taking some other shots that not just completely wide open. Because he can make them. I've seen him do it in the past. Claw been balling 100%, bro. Lakers are going to check the Celtics. Going to check that Celtics temperature on Sunday. They put BTA on us in Boston. You have to get that lick back now that everyone is back. Exactly. That'll be it. Now that's one of those wins. That's one of those type of. I'm sorry, chat. Damn, I hit my desk. My bad. But yeah, that's one of those type of games to where you can really see where you are as a team, because Boston has been playing phenomenal basketball, right? Let's see his schedule. So they get the W tonight against the Clippers. When we talked about this before the All-Star break, that OKC game, they should have got that game, chat. That should have been a dub, bro. Those threes Jake LaRavia missed in the fourth quarter, that hurt it a lot. And the referees weren't, I'm not going to sit up here and keep talking about it, but the refs was so bad in that game, it's crazy. But Sunday against the Celtics is going to be a very, very tough game. And if you win this game, that'll be a great win. I don't care if it's a blowout. I don't give a damn. The Lakers have been the clutchest team in the league this season. And I think that matters for the postseason. Because what are you going to be playing, or what type of situations are you going to be in as a team when you go into the playoffs? You are going to be in a close game most of the time. Most of the time it's going to be nail biters, or it's going to be going down to the wire. The Lakers have shown throughout the season that they are built to play in that type of situation. They've shown that. Now, one criticism I want to go, right? Let me go full screen for this, because everybody always like, you never criticize LeBron, right? Which I think is complete bullshit. I critique him all the time. I just think he's the greatest player of all time. And when some people hear you say that, they just think that the player is just like untouchable by you. But that's not the case. I do want to critique LeBron though, because in tonight's game, it showed. And what I mean by that is he has to start shooting the ball. He has to. He has to. He's not shooting the three ball enough. He had 3 shot attempts from the three-point line tonight. And he had a clear, wide open 3 in the fourth quarter that came off a double team from Reeves. Now, he did drive all the way to the rim and try to make a layup, but he tried to do too much and it got blocked at the rim. Instead of just shooting a wide open 3, he went all the way to the rim and just got into a situation where the shot was contested over shooting a wide open 3. He has to start shooting that more. I know he is not shooting the ball well from 3 so far this season, but he has to start being more aggressive from the three-point line, especially in that situation, especially with the way that Reeves and Luka are drawing so much attention. He had multiple threes he could have shot tonight. Now, he did make 1 in the first quarter, and he only shot 2 more for the rest of the game. He really wasn't that aggressive either this game. I think that in this type of situation, LeBron is not going to be very aggressive. He's going to allow Reeves and Luka to kind of carry the offensive load, and he'll try to chip in here and there most nights, I think, unless he has it going. I think that Reeves, Luka, and LeBron have that understanding. And that's the reason why I think that these 3 players can work together, because they know it's only one ball, right? All of us aren't going to be able to get 25 shots at the rim or get 25 shots up every single night. So we have to figure out ways to play good team basketball together while all 3 of us are dominating the game. And I feel like for the most part, I wouldn't say LeBron was dominant any type of way. Now he had a good facilitating type of night. I think he had 10 assists tonight. I think Bron had 10 assists tonight, but he only had 13 points. But I felt like it wasn't even the points. I thought it was the shot selection more for me. I thought that some of the shots he was shooting. Now he had a couple rim in and out. Yeah, he had 11 assists tonight. So I mean, I'm not gonna sit up and act like he just had a terrible game. But when it comes to the shot selection, right, I think that it has to change up a little bit more. And I think he needs to start shooting more threes. Is DK still in the G League, or did he get called back up? Nah, he was on the bench tonight. Yeah, DK was on the bench. DK buried on the bench, though, bro. He won't. Dalton Connect, he not. If Dalton Connect was going to be in the rotation, they wouldn't have traded for Luke Kennard. Because Luke Kennard is doing what Dalton Connect was supposed to be doing. Dalton Connect is supposed to be a more athletic version of like a player like Luke Kennard. With the jumping ability Dalton Connect has, there is no excuse at all for Dalton not to be a better defender. There's absolutely no excuse for it. Dalton should be, at the least, he should be a solid defender. He should be an average defensive player. When I look at some of the guys around the NBA that are simply just not that athletic and they still figure out ways to be good defensive players, there is no excuse for Dalton Connect not to be a good defender. Bro, Austin Reeves was out there being a 3-and-D type of player when he first came into the league. And now look what he is now. He was on the verge of being in his first All-Star game if he didn't get hurt, right? So, like, some of these players have to figure out ways to just carve their role and be in the rotation and get that experience and get those meaningful minutes. And Dalton Connect has just not been able to do that. Yeah, bro, you had a game where you dropped 40 almost, bro. And you had multiple good offensive games. But you still have to play defense. You are not the guy on this team. You got to play defense. And I think that JJ Redick, knowing that he's not willing to just be out there and do the dirty work, I think that's the reason why he hasn't been a part of the rotation this season. That's what I think. That's the problem with Dalton Connect. Luka, LeBron, and Smart were not available that first game against Boston. Things should be way different on Sunday. Oh, 100%. It should be way different. I think the Lakers are playing good right now. And yeah, but obviously the team being available matters. And I think the addition of Kennard and Rui coming off the bench, I think that this team is heading in the right direction. And we'll see. Sunday is going to be a good test for the Lakers, bro. It's going to be a good test. But they definitely can win that game. Like, we not finna sit up and act like the Lakers can't compete and all this, right? I think that they definitely can win that game, but we'll just see what version of the Lakers shows up. We got to be able to defend the ball, and we got to be able to rebound the ball, right? We got to be able to rebound the ball when you do get stops. I love the way the Lakers were playing defensively tonight at times and stretches of the game, but they just were not able to rebound the ball at a high level. And at the same time, the Lakers cannot be so much dependent on their offense to where, like, it dictates their defense. The Lakers are one of those type of teams to where if they are making shots, they are going to be super duper energetic. And that on like just that alone, they get stops off that sometimes. They can't let that dictate the game. They had to be defensive minded first because of their shortcomings on the defensive side of the ball when it comes to the talent level defensively for their team. They don't have a lot of defensive talented players. So they have to play very good team defense because, and y'all probably looking at me like, bro, what teams are, gonna make it out through the playoffs without defensive talent? The Nuggets don't have a lot of defensive talent. The Nuggets don't have a lot of defensive talent at all. Peyton Watson is a good defender. Aaron Gordon is a good defender. He hurt right now. Christian Brown is a decent defender. But bro, they don't have stout defenders on their team. And they don't have no rim protection. They don't have no athleticism at the rim at all. And they still figure out ways to get stops defensively. So it's plenty of teams in the league like that. The Indiana Pacers last season, now I will say this, Indiana individually, they do have some talented defensive players. But overall, their team is just not like some type of stout defensive team. That was the biggest gripe about the Indiana Pacers the last couple of years before they made it to the finals last year. They don't get stops. But they figured out ways to get timely stops. And of course, they were one of the best offensive teams in the league. And that ended up propelling them to go to the NBA Finals because they were playing amazing basketball at the right time. So when people say it's impossible for your team to do this and do that because they can't get stops or they're terrible defensively, you can just go back and look at the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers were not a great defensive team last year. But they still made it to the finals because they got timely stops and they were a great offensive team. Oh, 100%. So did Vanderbilt miss that game? Oh, you know what? Vanderbilt, he was out of the rotation, wasn't he? At that point of the season, Vanderbilt was completely out of the rotation. I think I know what you're talking about, bro. But at that point of the season, I think Vanderbilt was just completely out of the rotation. So yeah, Vanderbilt, Luka and Reeves foul bait, brother. What? There's a lot of players in the league that foul baits. Why are we talking about Luka and Reeves? But at the same time, Luka and Reeves are so good offensively that the defenses have an extremely hard time staying in front of them and not playing defense without their hands. If you can go back and show me, it was a couple times a night Luka and Reeves got fouled and they didn't even call the foul. Like, for example, the game was a lot closer at the end of the game than it should have been because Austin drew that charge on Benedict Mathurin to foul him out the game, which was huge. Probably the play of the game, right? But at the same time, for an example, Austin drew another charge a few plays after that on, I think it was the kid that just got converted to a two-way contract for the Clippers. What's his name? Jordan Miller, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Jordan Miller. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And he kicked the ball to the corner to Derrick Jones Jr. Reeves set a charge. They didn't call anything. They just let it play. And Derrick Jones Jr. hit a corner three. So they didn't call as many fouls as they should have tonight for the Lakers in the Lakers' favor. The Clippers got away with a couple things. And a lot of teams do. But at the same time, when you play defense with your hands against Luka and Austin, they are so good at it. You can't guard them if you play defense with your hands. You can't because they are so crafty and so good, which is a skill. Now, foul baiting and flopping is two different things. I don't like flopping is annoying. Like Brunson is a flopper. Jalen Brunson is a flopper. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid is a flopper, but he's good at foul baiting as well. Some of these guys are extremely skilled at drawing fouls. That's a skill, bro. It's not always looked at. It shouldn't always be looked at as a negative. Because if you are a if you are trying to perfect your game, you need to be trying to manipulate every single facet of the game offensively. And that's when you become unguardable. If players are playing you with their hands, you have to take advantage of it. You have to take advantage of their aggressiveness. And that's exactly what Luka and Austin does. That's exactly what they do. So if you don't want to play disciplined basketball, you're going to get punished for it. So I'm not blaming no players for foul baiting, because you can't go back and show me any of those fouls during the game where Luka and Austin didn't actually get fouled. If you can go back and show me times throughout the game where they didn't get fouled, okay, you can have an argument. But complaining about that is not, it's a negative in the playoffs. No, it's not. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just won the finals last year, bro. He just won finals MVP last year. He's known as the biggest foul baiter in the league. So no, that's just incorrect. That's incorrect, bro. So there's plenty of foul baiters, quote unquote. Luka done been to the finals before. Like, there's plenty of foul baiters, as you're saying, that have made deep playoff runs. And they don't change up their game because that's what they do throughout the season. Now, some fouls don't get called in the playoffs that do get called in the regular season. Granted, you are right. But at the same time, there are plenty of foul baiters, quote unquote, that have had success in the playoffs. And Shai is an example of one that just had success last season. You said he's allowed to, Luka and Reeves aren't? What does that even mean? G-Dog, what does that mean, bro? You're absolutely right. Coaches DNP that game for Vando. Thiero was matched up against Brown that game, and he actually held his own. He did. I remember that. He did. That's when a dude was kind of playing a little bit, because the night before in that Toronto game, he had some pretty good moments as well. Adou Thiero is going to be extremely important for the Lakers' success in the future, because if he can pan out to be a rotational player that can be maybe in the starting five, or maybe just a rotational player that can come off the bench and be a solid defender and be an energetic, athletic kind of defender and work on his three-point shot and get up to an average three-point shooter, that'll be a steal for the Lakers. And he definitely has the talent to do that. So we'll see, bro. But yeah, Adou Thiero is definitely an interesting piece for the Lakers for sure. G-Dog, I don't know if you a Clippers fan or what, bro, but this is the type of bias that just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make you credible in a debate when you're trying to talk to another person about sports, because you're just showing biasness, bro. Like, what are you talking about? How is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander allowed to foul bait, but Luka Doncic, who leads the NBA in scoring, and he's third in assists, a 5-time All-NBA player, first team All-NBA player, or at least 5, I don't know, he might have been 6, led the entire NBA in All-Star votes, the most popular player in the league right now, right? How is he not allowed to foul bait, but Shai is? Then on top of that, Luka played for the Lakers, which is probably the biggest market in basketball. Out of them or the Knicks. I don't know which one is more popular. It's probably the Lakers. So I don't see how you saying that he's allowed to do that, but they aren't. That makes no sense. Luka and Reeves get less calls in the playoffs, which hurts their game. I don't think so. We'll see this season. But for an example, last season against the Timberwolves, bro, if you, I don't know why I didn't say this stat. And obviously the Timberwolves won the series. But the Lakers have a better team, in my opinion, than they have last season. They only had 5 dependable players in the playoff setting last year. Now, this season, I feel like they at least have 7 or maybe even 8. Because adding Kennard, adding Marcus Smart, that's 7 right there, alongside your rotation. Then I think Aiden is much better. I think he would have actually helped the Lakers last season in the Timberwolves series, because those 2 games so far this year against the Timberwolves, Aiden has played well. Against Rudy Gobert, against Randall, against Naz Reid, all of these guys, Aiden has played well in both of those matchups, right? So that's all we can really go off of. The Lakers starting 5 in that series outscored the Minnesota Timberwolves starting 5 in that entire series. The biggest difference in that series was the bench. They outscored the Lakers by, I can't remember exactly what the number was, but it was like an insane number. And Reeves was not good in that series. Now, granted, he did have a toe injury in that series, He had a couple good games here and there, but he wasn't consistent. But Reeves has been good in the playoffs, though. We can't act like Reeves didn't have the run that we had made to the Western Conference Finals. Reeves was phenomenal in that playoff series. I mean, in that playoff run. He was good against the Grizzlies. You remember the I'm him moment? He was going crazy against the Warriors, hitting half-court shots and shit. He even had a couple good games against the Nuggets. It's just D'Angelo Russell just laid a whole entire egg in that series as the third option on the team that season. Right? So last year, Reeves was not good. But Reeves has had good playoff moments to where we can't just say Reeves is not a good playoff performer. Just because he didn't play great every single game last season in the playoffs does not mean he's not a good playoff performer. He's had good playoff moments. And the couple times he's been in the playoffs. So did you see Charles Barkley tell Austin Reeves the Lakers aren't a championship contender to his face? Bro, like, the last thing I'm worried about is fucking Charles Barkley, bro. And excuse my language, chat. I try to keep it as clean as possible on this channel. And I'm not cussing at you, Darren. I'm just saying in general. I don't respect nothing that guy says. I don't care about nothing he says. That dude has, I don't even know if he actually even watches the games on his off days. I don't even think his job is to analyze the NBA. When has he actually had, like, bro, 95% of his takes are just straight off emotion. That dude, does he even watch the game? Why would I care about his opinion when he doesn't even watch the games? So I'm not worried about nothing Charles Barkley says. And that's the reason why ESPN and the old TNT panel, they haven't been on TV that much, bro. Like, they're becoming old news. And sooner or later, it's going to happen the first take. Sooner or later it is. But those are the type of things. Now, granted, the Lakers are not a championship favorite. Right? But how you going to sit up here and say a team that's one game or half a game out of the fourth seed in the Western Conference, how you going to just sit up here and say and just act like they don't have a chance at all? Now, are there teams that have a better chance? Of course, 100%. But saying that is crazy. He talking like the Lakers are a playing team or something. Because even the year the Lakers went to the Western Conference Finals, bro, or won the championship, Charles Barkley was saying that the Portland Trail Blazers, as the freaking 8th seed, were going to beat the Lakers in the playoffs. So ever since then, bro, I have not taken Charles Barkley serious. After that first game in the 2020 playoffs, when the Portland Trail Blazers beat the Lakers in the first game, Charles Barkley was talking crazy. Right? He was talking. They were saying that the Portland Trail Blazers were the best number 8 seed of all time. They were saying all types of stuff, bro. They was just trying to hype up the Trail Blazers in every single type of way to try to diminish the Lakers. And the Lakers came back and won 4 straight games against their ass. And you should have seen his face. You should have seen his face when the Lakers won 4 straight games and the Blazers didn't win another game. He didn't say, oh, my bad, I was wrong. He didn't say none of that. Just making excuses like he always does. So we'll see. The Lakers are one of those teams you have to see. Because they have not had enough reps this season with their best players in order for us to really judge them as a team. So that's my little 2 cents on that. I don't care about nothing Charles Barkley got to say. I cannot stand Charles Barkley. Well, I ain't going to say I cannot stand him. I just don't like his sports takes and his basketball takes. I don't actually know the guy. But when it actually comes to his sports takes, I don't respect nothing he says, bro. And that's just me personally. My humble opinion. And side to side look, you just did have me rolling. No, it's the truth, bro. It's like, it's crazy to me how he just, I don't know. I legitimately do not know, bro, if he actually watches the games. I just don't know. It feels like he doesn't. But yeah, chat, I think that's going to be it for tonight, man. Lakers get the dub tonight against the Clippers. I got to get up early in the morning, chat, so I'm going to go ahead and hop off now. We will be back on Sunday. I think I'm going to make a video tomorrow. I'm going to talk about something. I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about yet, but y'all be sure to turn y'all notices on. Turn your notifications on so you will get notified once we upload a video or we do go live. I'll be back live again Sunday after the Lakers and Celtics game to have a live game show, a post-game show for that game. Love y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all so much for watching today's live stream. Oh, let me read y'all last 2 comments. Luka and LeBron are both savants. No one should be surprised if we make it to the Western Conference Finals. And Austin Reeves, just to answer your question or just to comment on that intellect before I get off, Austin Reeves is becoming, I don't think he's Luka or LeBron level, but when it comes to just being very, very smart and understanding the game, he's getting up there, bro. And that's the reason why he's been able to elevate himself. 40 points, 50 points, Krispy Kreme donuts, round like rim, got a hole in it. What the hell? Good stuff as always. Appreciate you, mama. But all right, chat, I will see y'all Sunday with another live stream. Possibly another video tomorrow. Y'all turn y'all notices on. Subscribe if y'all new. Drop a like on the live stream. Love y'all, man. I will catch you guys Sunday. Peace. Y'all have a good night. Y'all stay blessed and have a good weekend, too.